At last, it's finally here. Be careful with knives. Time for the amp. Would have been useful when I was, putting up the bass, but whatever. I doesn't help if the cards are really white for the bass, but whatever. Now to start off, let's look at the big boy himself, the bass. This is a Peavey Milestone Red, and it's a 5-string. I got it in the 5-string variant, but it comes in a 4-string and I believe a 6-string kit. Maybe I'll put it up here. So out of the box, it felt pretty good. It played well. It sounds pretty nice, But, there's always going to be faults, no matter what. But let's start off with some of the features of the bass. It has a 34.5 inch scale length, I believe. I'm going to put it up here if I'm not mistaken. It has a rosewood fingerboard, along with nice stainless steel frets. They're not exactly jumbo frets, but they are frets. It has just the normal dock inlays, no blocks or anything special, and mine specifically came in this beautiful red, and I really love it, and that's the entire reason I got a red strap, even a red cable and everything. I don't know, this red spoke to me, but we'll save that for the end of the video. Some other things about this bass is that it has 2 single coil pickups, a neck pickup, a middle pickup, and then a bridge pickup. Now, I know these look like active pickups, but they are passive. As you can see, there's nothing in the back. There's no sort of battery cover or anything where you can, put in a new 9-volt or anything. So yeah, it has this silver hardtail bridge. It's a basic bridge for a bass, but for the price point, it's pretty good. I bought it for about $1,150 on sale. That's in dirhams, United Arab Emirates, It's usually $1,300. I'll put that up in dollars, but then again, prices may differ throughout. In the States it might be different, in Russia it might be different. Prices are going to differ everywhere, Some other features is that it has a black pickguard. It has 2 volume knobs and 1 tone knob over here. This controls the tone for both. This is for the neck pickup, and the bridge pickup, and then this is for the bridge pickup, yeah, middle and bridge. Sorry. Anyways, the top of the headstock is it has a matching headstock of the body from the body, which in my opinion looks sick. I was checking out reviews and I saw this Sunburst one, I believe. It had a black headstock, and I was worried that mine would have a black headstock, but no. Mine has a matching headstock in the red. On the back, it has this black thing, I don't know what. It has these really big tuners with like these blue things. Don't exactly know what they're called, I'll tell you. It's made in China. It's made in China, but isn't everything. At this point, I might as well be made in China for all I know. And it has a pretty thick and chunky neck, which for me feels nice. You know, and as you can see, the neck profile, it is pretty thick, but it doesn't really bother me. I personally like it. My fingers fit because my fingers are fat. They are fat fingers. Anyway, it just slides across so well. The strings that came on this are amazing in my opinion. I really like these personally. They're grippy, but at the same time, they just slide really well. Like, I can easily just... Of course, I'm not trying to play it. I'm just showing you, like, I can slide it across this all day. It's amazing. I love it. Anyways, yeah, and then it has a black pick guard, and yeah, and up here on the headstock it says milestone. You know, I will put up what the body is made out of. If I'm not mistaken, it's either poplar or balsa. Put it up there. Anyways, you know, so it came with a couple things. It came, weirdly enough, with an instrument cable, which I'm just using as an extra cable for my pedal setup for my guitar, because I have 3 pedals and I only have 1 link cable, so I'm just using it as that. But it's an angled cable, so it's pretty good actually. You know, and honestly, for the price, it's pretty good. And it also comes with 2 Allen wrenches and this little manual thing. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to features of the amp. Now, the amp that I have is the Fender Rumble 25. It's a 25 watt amp. It's not very heavy at all. It's quite light. It's pretty good. It has a few things. It has a volume. It's pretty simple, but it sounds great, and you guys will see what I mean. It simply has a volume knob, overdrive button, you know, EQ, highs, mids, lows, and it has a contour button. Now, the settings I used for recording the demo for the bass was simply, of course I edited the volume a little bit just so it doesn't peak the mic or anything, but I had overdrive on, all of the EQs were at 12 o'clock, and I had the contour on. Now, that's barely anything. I barely did any sort of tweaking to the sound. Of course, you know, eventually I'm gonna start, you know, figuring out what kind of sound I want for the bass, what kind of sound I want with the amp. So after a while, of course, yeah, but it's a pretty simple amp, which is good. And I tried it out with my guitar. It is beautiful, absolutely stunning. And that's all I can say. It's loud too. My Black Star amp, it's a good amp, don't get me wrong, but this Rumble, I promise you guys I'm not sponsored. I swear to God, it's just a great amp, especially for the price. I mean, you maybe, you know, it's nothing really better than, like, it's not really that good for like if you play bass, it's not going to be that good for like a studio setting, or no, a studio setting is fine. What I mean is like a stage setting, at a gig, you know, playing live. I feel like this amp wouldn't be that good for you, but for me, who just sits in his room and records music and makes these sort of dumb little reviews, it's perfect. Well, anyways, without further ado, let's get into the sound demo, huh? Anyways, guys, if you couldn't tell, it's a different day. It is currently 12:54 a.m. as of time I'm recording. My personal thoughts of the bass, it's a great bass. Of course, nothing is perfect. I do have my fair share of complaints. The bass out of the box did come out with very high action. Hopefully I'm gonna go take it set up, by a professional, get the action down, but yeah. The action was set extremely high. Of course, this is not a very big issue, but that's about all the issues. That's where about issues end. To me personally, this is a really great bass, especially for the price point. I don't think it can be beat, really. So, yeah. Overall, why would you buy a 5-string bass? Well, a lot of musicians, such as me, tend to use lower ranges within their music, and usually tend to use a lot of ranges in their music. Depending on what you're doing or what you're using it for, you might need a 5-string bass. In my case, I could have gotten a 4-string, yes, but a 5-string would have helped me more within the long run. I personally play a lot of lower tune music. I really like a lot of metal and deathcore and things, this kind of music. But even then, I still like other genres. That's why 5-string bass to me was perfect, because it's very versatile. Songs like, if I'm not mistaken, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson use a 5-string bass. I love Michael Jackson. My mom loves Michael Jackson. If I want to learn Billie Jean, it uses a 5-string, if I'm not mistaken. One of my favorite bands of all time is Korn. I really love Korn, and they use 5-string basses. And my other band, I have 2 bands, Dissonance. I'll put up our Instagram and TikTok up here. Please go follow us, yeah. But then I have another band called Glitch. Well, as a placeholder name, we're still figuring out some stuff. We're a deathcore band, and our guitarists use 7-string guitars. We haven't found a bassist yet. We have someone in mind, but even they don't own a 5-string bass. So as of right now, I've been standing in so far as like a bassist in a way. And as for recording, a 5-string bass is just easier to handle within a 7-string setting. It's just easier tuning and stuff like that. And when it comes down to it, in general, I just like the look of a 5-string too. It's my own personal preference. I personally found 5 strings more appealing towards me. So unless you don't find 5 strings more appealing to you, and then overall you don't need it, don't buy one. An amazing bass, plays well, feels well. The sound is just so amazingly full. The amp is even better. It's just the cherry on top. It's an amazing amp and an amazing bass, and for a price point that you really can't beat. A little bit of personal advice from me: don't go for those cheap guitar bundles that are like for 1,500 dirhams or something. Honestly, build your own. I've tested it myself. So I've actually made bundles that end up better than like the bundles that you can buy, and that are cheaper, by like a solid 200 dirhams, which is like $80, something like that. I don't know, but it's a lot of money that you can save if you just buy everything separately. Or sure, sometimes you're not saving money. Like in my case, I spent a pretty large sum of money buying this stuff, and yes, it did end up more costly than if I were to go and buy a ready-made set. But a ready-made set wouldn't have had an amp this big and loud, a bass that would have felt this good or sounded this good. It wouldn't have come with such a comfortable strap. It wouldn't have come with such a good cable. So just a personal piece of advice from me: if you're gonna play guitar, if you're gonna play bass, build it yourself. Like, go and buy each thing separately. It just ends up better for you, honestly. Set yourself a budget, get everything within that budget. If you want my opinion, try and keep most of the budget for the bass or the guitar itself. So, yeah. Overall, what I would rate this bass out of 10? You see, that's a hard question. Joking. It's a pretty good bass, especially as a starter bass. Ignoring price, just looking at the bass itself, it's a really good bass, around 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. But factoring the price, I don't think you can get anything better around that price point. There's a Yamaha 5-string bass that has like a really big active humbucker, but that's like 2,000 dirhams, so it's like 800 dirhams more just for the bass, you know. So yes, at this price point, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend you go buy. Make sure to go check your local retailer, see how much it is. Make sure to see if you can find the best deals. Everything I bought was on sale, and trust me, you can get things on sale if you really try. Especially here in the UAE, places like Thompson and Melody House, they really, if you really do push, they can really give you discounts, and it's really helpful. It was how I was able to get the amp for pretty cheap actually. I got it for 651 from a price of 766. So from 766 I got it down to 651, which is really good. You know, the bass was already on sale, and then I got the cable and the strap on sale, so also get things on sale, just helps save a lot of money. Anyways, enough of my rambling, I'm sorry. Bass, 10 out of 10. Amp, 10 out of 10. Please go buy them, they are amazing. If you're looking into buying them, go ahead. Now, just a quick little note, the 25, the Rumble 25, there is a bigger counterpart, the Rumble 40, which is much louder. So if you're going to be a gigging musician, I highly recommend maybe just putting in that little bit of extra money and getting the 40, but like if you're a bassist. But as a guitarist, if you're a guitarist, the 25 is more than enough. That thing is loud. Like, it's loud. It hurt my ears at about quarter of the volume. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and yeah, I know some of you guys might be going to Umrah, so have safe travels, you know. My neighbors actually went for Umrah, so MashaAllah, Tabarak ar-Rahman. Okay, anyways, yeah, see you guys later. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Please show me some love. I'm really trying my best to put out videos. It's a lot harder than it seems actually. You know, a lot of stuff has been going on, but yeah, please try and like and subscribe, you know, and yeah, have a great night. I'm gonna either stay up and play Minecraft or go to sleep. I don't know. I'll decide later. That's for me to decide. Anyways, goodbye and have a safe night.